Hi there! This might be one of my favorite soups. Today I'm going to show you how to make a no cream of mushroom soup. So not only is this soup free of dairy like butter and cream, it gets even better. Except for the sea salt, this soup is 100% plant-based. It is free of all thickening agents like glutinous flours or starches like cornstarch and arrowroot. There's no oil in the recipe. There's no cashews in the recipe, making it nominal in fat, yet totally satisfying and filling. Sound too good to be true? You're in luck. It's true. Hopefully I've piqued your curiosity. Let's make some soup because you're going to want this for dinner tonight. Alright, we're going to start with 2 cups of finely chopped cauliflower. Make sure that your cauliflower is finely chopped and it's not huge large chunks. It'll just cook faster. Alright, go ahead and scoop up the 2 cups of cauliflower, and I'm going to just go ahead and put it into the pot. Next you're going to want 2 cups of peeled chopped zucchini. Now the reason why I'm peeling the zucchini is because I just want to lessen the green color of the soup. Green cream of mushroom soup just visually isn't that attractive or appealing. Go ahead and just put your 2 cups of chopped zucchini into the boiling pot. Alright, next you're going to add to the cauliflower and the zucchini is 3.5 cups of water. Place the pot of cauliflower and zucchini onto the stove. Be sure to absolutely put the lid on. Allow it to boil at medium-high heat for 8 minutes. Now while the cauliflower and zucchini are cooking, we're going to prepare our mushrooms. You're going to need about 8 cups of mushrooms. We're going to slice the mushrooms up, and you can totally buy the pre-sliced mushrooms from the store. I think that works out to be about 4 packages of the sliced mushrooms. I just like getting my hands on my food, preparing it from scratch. There's just something really satisfying about that to me. And also, remember to cut the stems off. Half of this mushroom mixture is going to go into the soup base, and the other half is going to go into the soup after it's pureed. I'm going to go ahead and get out my large saute pan here because we're going to be dry sauteing the mushrooms. It seems like there's just so many mushrooms in this soup, but keep in mind that mushrooms are mostly water, and they're going to cook down by 2/3. So these 8 cups of mushrooms are going to cook down to around 2.5 to 2 3/4 cups. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of garlic. Now I'm going to opt to finely grate mine with this little mini grater. If you have the kind that's pre-minced in the jar, feel free to go ahead and use that. Next we're going to need 1 cup of finely chopped onion. I want to do a nice fine chop on these onions. Alright, here's my 1/2 cup. I'm going to go ahead and put it into the pot here. Don't mind my eyes, they are watering so bad. Next we're going to grind up our fresh rosemary. Now in all we're going to need 3 teaspoons. If you don't have fresh rosemary, please go to the store and buy some. I typically don't say those kinds of things, but the dried rosemary just is not going to work out for this recipe. This is my handy dandy herb grinder. It looks a little rough because it's seen a lot of miles. It's probably about 10 years old, but hey, it's still kicking and it works great. Technically it's a coffee bean grinder, but I don't drink coffee, so I use it as my herb grinder. I'm going to show you just how easy it is. Alright, absolute perfection. Add to the mushrooms 1 teaspoon of the fresh rosemary. I'm going to just show you at this angle so that you can see how fine that rosemary is. So I'm just going to scoop out 1 teaspoon here, and the remaining 2 teaspoons for the recipe will go into the soup base when we start blending. Alright, so I've got my mushrooms here on the stove, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the burner on to a medium-high heat. We're going to do a dry saute, which means no added butter or oil to the saute pan. We're just going to slowly just kind of toss around the mushrooms, the garlic, and the onions. And over the course of the sauteing, you're going to see that the mushrooms will break down and the garlic and the onion and the rosemary will all get nicely incorporated. You want to keep a steady toss on the mushrooms when you're doing a dry saute because at first, before they start releasing their water, you don't want them sticking to the bottom of the pan. If this is your first time dry sauteing, have no fear. Everything's going to turn out great. If you find that your mushrooms or your onions and such are just sticking a little more than what you're comfortable with, go ahead and turn the heat down to just a medium heat until the mushrooms begin to release more of their water. Then you can turn the heat back up. Okay, we're getting to the point now where the mushrooms are starting to release their water. and they don't need such rigorous tossing. We're going to turn the heat up now to back up to medium-high and finish off this saute. Now that we're at the last leg of the saute, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of sea salt and just sprinkle it in. Give it another toss so that it's all incorporated, and we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the burner and remove the mushrooms from the heat immediately. Now what we're going to do from here is we're going to split this mixture in half. Put approximately half of the mushrooms into the blender. Add another 2 teaspoons of the fresh ground rosemary. Add about another 1 3/4 teaspoons of fresh sea salt. With the lid on securely, now blend at the highest speed. All right, now I allowed it to blend to a really nice silky smoothness. So I got my pot back out because I'm going to actually pour the soup back in and reheat it since it did cool a bit while making the soup. Really quick, I want to show you this blender spatula that my husband just got for me as a gift. It rocks my world when it comes to spatulas. One thing, when I always tried to spatula a blender container, I always had to get my hand really far in there and do a lot of scraping. Watch this. So it's going to come right down the side. Bam! Bam! If you cook a lot in the kitchen, that's really exciting. Alright, now spoon the remaining mushrooms into the soup. And the reason why I'm saying don't just pour and dump the remaining mixture in is because you see that liquid? I don't necessarily want to add the liquid, I just want the mushrooms. Give it a stir here, and now that I see that the soup is coming to a very low boil, so let's go ahead and take it off the stove and serve it up. What I like also about this soup, it's got the whole mushroom slices in it on top of pureeing the mushrooms into the soup base itself. Yum. Okay. That makes me really happy. I love it. I love it. I really hope you will love it too. And I hope that you'll love these other videos of mine. Check them out. And if you want to see more of my upcoming videos with recipes and my farm life here in Montana, hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you're notified each time I upload a new video. Share this video with someone on your Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye.